On New Year's Eve 2025, the No. 10 Miami Hurricanes delivered one of the most stunning victories in college football playoff history, defeating the No. 2 Ohio State Buckeyes 24-14 in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic. This quarterfinal matchup at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, saw the underdog Hurricanes dominate the defending national champions, advancing Miami to the semifinals for the first time in program history while ending Ohio State's repeat title hopes. The game marked a reversal of fortunes from the iconic 2003 Fiesta Bowl, where Ohio State upset a heavily favored Miami team in double overtime to claim the national championship. More than 2 decades later, the Hurricanes flipped the script, pulling off what many outlets called the biggest upset in CFP era, as 9.5-point underdogs against a Buckeyes squad that had cruised through much of the season. Game recap: defensive mastery and opportunistic plays. Miami's defense set the tone early, stifling Ohio State's high-powered offense and forcing a scoreless first quarter. The Hurricanes struck first in the second quarter when quarterback Carson Beck connected with running back Mark Fletcher Jr. for a touchdown pass, putting Miami ahead 7-0. Moments later, the game swung decisively as cornerback Keon Scott intercepted Buckeyes quarterback Julian Sayin and returned it 72 yards for a pick-six, extending the lead to 14-0 heading into halftime. Ohio State, appearing rusty after a first-round bye, managed negative rushing yards in the first half and struggled against Miami's ferocious pass rush, led by edge rushers like Reuben Bain Jr. and Elijah Houston. The Buckeyes offense woke up in the third quarter, with running back Bo Jackson scoring to cut the deficit to 14-7, and wide receiver Jeremiah Smith hauling in a touchdown reception in the fourth to make it 17-14 after a Miami field goal. However, the Hurricanes sealed the victory late with a grinding drive capped by Charmar Brown's touchdown run, pushing the score to 24-14 with under a minute remaining. Miami's ground game, powered by Fletcher's hard-nosed running, controlled the clock and wore down Ohio State's vaunted defensive line. Beck completed 19 of 26 passes for 138 yards and a touchdown, while adding rushing contributions. Sayin threw for 287 yards and a score but was plagued by 2 interceptions. Smith shone for Ohio State with 157 receiving yards, but it wasn't enough to overcome the early hole. Historical context and rivalry revival. This matchup revived a storied, albeit infrequent, rivalry. The teams have now met several times, with the 2003 national title game standing as the most memorable, a 31-24 double overtime thriller where Ohio State's Maurice Clarett and a controversial pass interference call ended Miami's 34-game win streak. Prior encounters included regular season games, with Ohio State holding wins in some, one vacated due to sanctions. The 2025 clash echoed that drama but with roles reversed. Miami, entering as the last team in the 12-team playoff field after squeezing past higher seeds in rankings, embodied the underdog spirit Ohio State once had. The Hurricanes, win avenged past heartbreaks and highlighted their resurgence under head coach Mario Cristobal. Key performances and turning points. Miami's success hinged on its opportunistic defense, which forced turnovers and limited Ohio State to just 45 rushing yards overall. Scott's pick-six proved the dagger, flipping momentum when the Buckeyes threatened to tie the game. Fletcher emerged as a star, punishing defenders with tough yards and a receiving touchdown. For Ohio State, coached by Ryan Day, the loss exposed vulnerabilities in the trenches and red zone efficiency. Despite stars like Smith and safety Caleb Downs, the team couldn't overcome the slow start, a common theme for bye teams in the expanded playoff, now 0-5 in such scenarios. What are the implications? Miami's triumph propels them to the CFP semifinals in the Fiesta Bowl on January 8, 2026, where they'll face the winner of the Georgia-Ole Miss Sugar Bowl quarterfinal. This run revitalizes the Hurricanes' storied program, evoking memories of their dominant 2000s era with 5 national titles. Ohio State's season ends at 12-2, marking back-to-back postseason losses after a dominant regular season. Questions loom about offensive coordination and preparation during byes, though returning talents like Sayin and Smith position the Buckeyes strongly for 2026. This Cotton Bowl Classic reinforced college football's unpredictability, delivering drama worthy of the playoff stage. As Miami marches on, the Hurricanes have reclaimed their place among the elite, while Ohio State reflects on a missed opportunity to repeat as champions.